Zoom link, I don't get into you.
No, no, no. Each week I put the Zoom link up on the announcements in Blackboard. Okay. So
Okay,
what you have to do is
okay.
access Blackboard, and the other thing, you should be getting my emails. So the likely explanation, I don't think it has anything to do with the Zoom link. What you have to do is get onto Web Central and change your email address that's listed there.
Okay, just change it. Don't
Yeah,
just make sure it's correct. Change it
I'll
totally.
look up right now
Mhm.
what I have for you.
Okay, should be Jalil330@yahoo.com.
Let me check and
Mhm.
I'll be able to tell you. Get it
Thank
more
you.
into the Web Central. I have an email list. So
Okay,
whatever email you have in that program is what is
because I was getting it from you in the beginning, but then it stopped.
okay. I'm not sure. Okay, so let's see, 3210. What's your last name again?
Brooks, Brooks.
Okay, so the email I have for you is alicia.brooks29@bcmail.cuny.edu. Okay.
Okay.
If that's not the email that you check every day, what
Mhm.
you should do is when you log in, it has a place where it says, I think it says my information or my profile or something, and you just change your email address there.
Okay, I'll double check it again because I recently checked it in BC Web Central, and it had the one that I do check every day. So I don't know why they have it on your list as that, but I will definitely double check it again. Thank
Okay,
you.
so all you have to do is change it on Web Central. There's a play. Does anyone recall? I have a slightly different access from the students. Does anyone recall how to change the email on Web Central?
I think I know where to go. So I think
Oh, okay, all right.
yeah. Thank you so much.
You're welcome.
May
Okay.
want to check
Any other questions?
I was just gonna say you may want to double check your Blackboard email because I don't know if you're only pulling from West Central, but Blackboard I was getting emails through a different joint as well, and I changed that. So
Okay, thank you.
Yeah, okay, so you went on Web Central and changed the email address.
yeah, that's changed, but I also had to for a different class I had to change my email on Blackboard to get my professor's emails.
No, I don't send them from Blackboard. I stopped doing it because they're all wrong on Blackboard. Like I was sending emails and like 3 people were getting them. They're like 85% of them are wrong. So I just use the Web Central. You don't have to worry about the Blackboard one. So just make sure the Web Central one is right. Okay. All right.
Yes, okay, thank you.
You're welcome. Let me get all mixed up here. This terrible laptop here. Okay. So sorry about the mix up last week. I was unaware that there were 2 holidays in a row. I didn't expect that, and I didn't. Maybe I missed it when I set up the syllabus, or maybe they added it later. I don't know. But in either case, you got the day off. It was a belated notification. So, but anyway, we did it right. So tonight, we'll move everything forward. So this is what we were going to do last time, which was we were going to do you talk about your career goals. So why don't we just forge ahead with that? And I don't know if you want to go in any order. Does anyone want to go first, or I'll just call on people. I'll take attendance as you do the presentation. So
I would like to go first if possible, Alicia.
okay,
Yes,
Alyssa, you go
please.
right ahead. Go ahead. Tell us what your career goals are and what you're going to do.
So give me 1 second. My son just dropped a whole bunch of rice somewhere. Just 1 second, and then I will open it up.
Okay,
Be
so
right there.
while we're waiting for that, just to reiterate, so I screwed up because I missed the holiday, so we're gonna push everything forward, and what was due originally tonight will be due the following week, and so on. So today we'll do the presentation, next time we'll do diversity and attitudes. So we'll just add a week to each one. So next week we'll do the diversity and job attitudes, chapters 2 and 3. And you should read Van Manen's The Smile Factory, and there's a discussion board on that. And I think you'll find that case very interesting. It's one of my favorite cases of all time, about the cast, the so-called cast at Disneyland, and the corporate culture of Mickey Mouse and Donald Duck characters, and the Princess Snow White and all that kind of thing. So basically, they have a very distinctive culture there, and I think you learn a lot about organizational culture as well as job attitudes from that case. So that'll be interesting. All right, Alicia, you want to get started on that?
Yes, I'm ready.
All
So
right.
I guess the first question was state the mission that drives your career goals and what will you achieve and what do you wish to contribute to society. I'm slightly different here, I think, with some of these questions because I'm returning back to school after 20 years. But the mission that drives my career goals is to create a third place environment for our youth that initiates awareness of like roles, responsibilities, expectations, accountability, performance, rights, and job security in the workplace. I will achieve sustainable, resourceful beginnings for our youth to ignite and surround themselves with that, and to surround themselves with that is conveniently located in their neighborhood. The intended contribution to society would be to strengthen the preparedness for our youth so that more jobs can be maintained as growth is promoted and careers are secured. Similar to like the familiar corner stores that dominate our urban areas, the profit for my business will be gained through that platform, which will offer, available products that meet the needs of the community, all while upholding an underlying mission. So basically, I want to open up corner stores or bodegas is what they reference to it sometimes. But in those bodegas, I want to give an opportunity to the youth to prepare themselves for working in general, but just maybe having more of a stable placement in the work world, because I feel like sometimes youth, they probably never heard of like being held accountable. And I'm talking about like when you get a write-up or when you get a corrective action or something like that, like they've never heard of that, or being held accountable for being late and stuff like that. So I want to be that first platform for them to introduce that to them before they even get in the work field. But at the same time, letting them actually get the hands-on experience while working in my similar to a bodega type place. Number 2 was to state the terminal and instrumental ethics that guide me. The terminal and instrumental ethics that guide me is the idea that my establishment will be around for many years and recycle its input into society, as the youth is the focus and will always have a place in the world. Instrumental values remain consistently about honestly instilling knowledge and responsibility in our youth from the very beginning. The goal of generational wealth and financial freedom will continuously be built due to the principles of the ever-growing nature of the mission. So again, I just mean because we're going to always have teenagers, we're going to always have, those youth in the world that is going to that's going to keep on needing to be strengthened in this category. And I would like, even past my time here on earth, like it to be in my generational like family, as far as like them keep on recycling these type of businesses and things like that. I couldn't think of a word. Number 3 was state your goals for what you will achieve in your 5th year after graduation. What will you be doing in those 5 years, and where will you be working? What will your personal and financial success look like? So in my 5th year of graduation, my goal is to have finished interning with a startup business similar to my desired business, and have created a business plan to begin to secure funds to launch my business. Thankfully, over the last 20 years, I've had the opportunity to operate stores of very successful companies, which has championed my decision to focus my goals on accountability awareness. I have continued to work for these companies in my recent years and have been achieving a personal goal of mine by being under the guidance of my mentor who is training me professionally in baking. With these lengthy investments, this contributes positively to my personal and financial success that would look like not being stressed on the mission of keeping the business open. Like my main financial, what success likes for me financially is I don't want to have the stress of, oh, I need to keep this business open. I need to sell. I want it to naturally be done, but keeping my eye on the mission. The desired business is simplicity and staple in the neighborhood will ease this and keep healthy flow of the bottom line so that the underlying but true mission of the business can be focused on. And that's the end of my presentation.
Excellent. That's really wonderful, Alicia. I'm glad you're so socially conscious, and trying to do the right thing for people. That's wonderful. So, great goal. And what more can
Thank you.
Yeah, very good. Good job. Anyone else eager to go first, or I'll just go in order, or I don't know how you want to do
Go
it.
next.
Go ahead, Prince Andy.
Thank you. My career goal is driven by a mission to be a catalyst for positive change in our healthcare system. With my current experience, I think I've like around 8 years, if I'm not mistaken, in the healthcare industry. I'd love to be part of the policy change in creating either a completely kind of fully accessible like as if it's a right healthcare system, or be part of the change created to be more equitable for all those. I aspire to contribute to the transformation of the healthcare system by advocating for policy changes, promoting innovative healthcare deliverable models. One of the big things I've noticed for me in my time in healthcare is that there is no real tracking or gauging of the system in full. Not in my mind by looking at full numbers from hospital perspectives, even hospitals that are considered failing. I don't think there's good data analytics on how much is being spent, used, or misused in all different facets. And I think if you brought in more data-driven systems and to gauge these things, you would see the major gaps in our healthcare system today. The terminal and instrumental ethics are, one, to create equity. Ultimate goal is my ultimate ethical goal is to promote equity in healthcare by ensuring that every individual has now equal opportunity to access high quality medical services. And justice, I'm committed to working for the justice healthcare system where fairness prevails and resources are allocated based on needs rather than privilege.
Wait, somebody's making noise here. I don't know what happened. Andy, you with us?
Yeah, I'm here. Can you hear me?
All right, ahead. Yeah, someone's mic went on. Right?
No problem.
Exactly.
Instrumental goals like sorry. Yeah, for me, instrumental ethics are based on advocacy, being part of advocating for to influence policy change, influencing more stringent oversight over medical systems and insurance systems as well, collaboration, working with other institutions, as well as pulling in other resources like data management, data engineering, things like that to get a full scope of where our medical system is, to provide the proper directions for change, and not just in a holistic, like every country, every state, every state, every city, every county is the same, but actually using the data that's wholly to each specific region to dictate how funds and management is spread out. Yeah, my goals as a fifth year after graduation, with the extensive amount of time I've spent in the healthcare industry now, my goal is to work in a leadership role.
What are you working with?
Say again?
What kind of work do you do now?
Oh, I've worked in revenue cycle in healthcare. I've spent time in hospital systems, and now I'm in a startup as well. As a revenue cycle manager, just managing the finances, seeing from how much we're getting paid from payers, so insurance providers, as well as patients, and where the money goes.
That's it. So you're already doing a lot in healthcare.
Yep.
Yeah, cool.
So my goals are to be in a well-established leadership role in an organization while also being tied to other healthcare advocacy groups, kind of playing a significant part in pushing policy change. Part of my goal also is to be part of the change to kind of track and manage healthcare systems and kind of get a full scope of where the money is spent, how the money is used, where are the gaps in how not and I want to be careful when I say this, not just in how healthcare, like when you go to the hospital, but even down to the minutia of how much drugs are being charged for, why there are markups, why there are not markups to certain drugs, so on and so forth, so on and so forth. These are the things that I think I find, like, if you were to look at those things, look at the specifics on even like if there are changes in the drugs to make them worth that increase in cost, there should be, I believe, a lot more policies around that and control around the cost of medication
Mhm.
and healthcare services. um, yeah, but and my personal success will be measured by impact of these things. I envision to kind of see that in 5 years from graduation, to see a lot of change either in a local level or even grander than that. Just not knowing how much work is required to create that high level impact, but definitely in a local level, see that change in whatever region I'm currently working in.
Excellent, excellent. Are you gonna get like a degree in health economics or something like that? Is that?
No, right now is business. But my years in healthcare, mixed in with some kind of analytics backgrounds and kind of work there. I think I'll combine the two to kind of point towards healthcare in that way. A lot my what I believe is going to happen in a lot of systems in our government is they're going to push towards more corporations having insight and influence in them. So I feel like having a business degree, as well as having the experience in the systems, as well as having other certifications and degrees, may assist in me getting in there, as opposed to just doing like healthcare management or informatics or things like that. Having a little bit wider range might make it simpler to get into with the direction that I think a lot of our systems are going towards right now.
That's really excellent. That's great. Well, you certainly have clear focus and you're in the right field and, you know, excellent. Good luck. And you're also very socially aware. I guess Brooklyn College is producing a lot of socially conscious students now. Very good. Very good.
Thank
Okay.
you.
Yeah, excellent. Who wants to go next? Anyone? Okay, I saw a message from someone who didn't want to go. That's fine. If you wrote the thing, you don't have to go, but make sure let me see what, let me see the messages. BB tool and email. Oh, I see. We're back to the issue of like how to change your email address. So go to BB tool and email on the yeah, if you did the career goal on Blackboard, you'll get credit for that, but you can also do it live. It's a good practice. I urge you to do it live, in part to practice your verbal, your presentation skills. But yeah, you can do it either way. You can do both if you want to. Can I not present as I submitted? The answer is yes. You don't have to submit. So I'll give, if I can convince you to do it, then please do, but I'll give you credit if you have it on Blackboard already. Okay, and Sancita had the same question. That's fine. Okay, so again, it's a choice, but if you haven't done it on Blackboard, then do it here. But a lot of people I noticed did do it on Blackboard. Okay, how about Mohammed Afzal? Are you here? Okay, Nabia Ahmed. Rima Akhtar. Rima. Omar Ali, Chastity Aquino, Nita Aslam, Nita, Natalie Ben Yosef.
Yeah, I did it on Blackboard.
You want to do it now? Just tell us a little bit. You don't have to, it doesn't have to be elaborate.
Yeah, but I'm not able to speak too much because I'm a little sick, if that's okay.
All right. What do you, I hope you don't have COVID.
So I can, no, I don't have COVID, but I can just say like a little bit about it.
Yeah, say, a few minutes, not a big deal.
Okay. So the first question was state the mission that drives your career goals. What will you achieve? What do you wish to contribute to society? So for that, I wrote, by applying my abilities and knowledge to make intelligent, moral, financial decisions, my aim in finance is to attain financial perfection. I want to reduce risks while assisting businesses and individuals in creating and managing their wealth. I want to use my profession to promote public understanding of finances, economic prosperity, and stability. I'm dedicated to maintaining the high standards of ethics, professionalism, and lifelong learning while to improve the financial security of people and the community overall.
Very good. So what type of job? It's not like risk management, it sounds like, something like that.
I would start with something in a bank, and I want to definitely work in an environment where I can grow, because if I'm not growing, I don't want to stay in one company.
Okay, but it
So-
sounds like you're talking about a lot about managing risk. Is that part of what you're interested in? Because that's like a whole field.
Yes.
That's like a big area now in a lot of financial institutions.
Yeah, definitely. I think it
Yeah.
could be a good career for me.
Yeah, that's great. I think there's a lot of need for that, and that's what caused the downfall of some of these banks that failed recently. Was I think the one in California, especially Silicon Valley Bank, they had terrible risk management, and that's what they didn't know what they were doing, and that's what caused their failure. They didn't understand or didn't assess the risk of the bonds they were investing in, and I think someone who's thinking about that a lot, like you, would make a big difference there.
Yeah, exactly. I think it's very important to study what you're doing because you're risking people's money that they worked so hard for, and you have to understand the risks of what you're doing, and you have to
Yeah.
actually be more educated on the risks you're about to take. And some
Yeah.
people just don't really, they're not really careful.
Oh, yeah. Well, that was part of the story of Enron. I don't think it was in the movie you watched, but if you read the book, I'm pretty sure it was in both the books, The Smartest Guys in the Room and Conspiracy of Fools. I think it was in both of the books. They had this really good risk manager, and he kept warning them that they were going to get into trouble, and they refused to listen, and basically they ignored him, and he had warned them like a year, 2 years in advance, and they just ignored him, and that's a big part of why they failed. So this is, I think it's a field that has a lot of potential influence, but like many things, I was talking about HR today in my class on HR, and one of the things that's really true is that the top managers don't want the HR people to do things in a professional way because they want to have all the power. They want to do it their own way, and it's not always the way that an objective HR professional would recommend. I think the same is probably true with risk management. Although hopefully most of them will be smart enough to know that that they can bankrupt themselves if they do stupid stuff. There's a great book by this guy Larry McDonald, A Colossal Failure of Common Sense, about the failure of Lehman Brothers in 2008, and that's also closely related to what you're talking about. Very good, excellent.
Just
Okay.
to clarify, do I need to submit this on Blackboard? Because I didn't yet, but since I spoke on the Zoom, do I have
Since you
to?
spoke on Zoom, you don't have to. It's an either or, so
Okay.
you don't have to do it on Blackboard. Ariana Besesser. Ariana here. Anthony Castaneda.
Hi, Professor, I'm here.
Hey, Anthony, go ahead.
Yes, so I submitted it on Blackboard. I don't know
Okay.
if it's required to talk about it.
Well, you want to talk about it or you're shy?
I'm a little shy, so
All right.
yeah. But I submitted it on Blackboard.
Okay, Anthony.
Yeah. Thank you
Uh,
very much.
You're welcome. Jerika? Jerika Sapita? Alea Charlton? Soraya Chowdhury? Soraya? Not here either. Glory Christian?
Professor,
Yes.
Professor, I'll go so you can stop calling
What?
names for a while.
Okay,
Um,
what's your name? I don't see a name.
Patrice McIntyre.
Okay, go shoot.
Okay, so first question is state the mission that drives your career goals. What will you achieve? What do you wish to contribute to society? For that question, I wrote to create a place where women can feel confident and secure to breathe and let go. A place where they can be taken care of and pampered with the same care they bestow upon their family. A business centered on the whole body. I'm a massage therapist. I've been one for about 10 years.
Cool.
And from all the places that I've worked, it's not centered on the whole body. And I want to create something that, you know, focuses on mind, the diet, and you know, everything else, and have just the spiritual aspect of one of a woman's of their how they feel, especially after giving birth.
Wow.
To state the terminal and instrumental ethics that drive you. Operating a facility where not only the clientele is cared for, but also the employees, by making self-care mandatory. Vacations are already mandatory. However, paid sick leave is not in the massage therapy profession. I want my employees to know that it is safe to take time off when they're sick, when they're not feeling good mentally, even if they have to take care of their children, if they're parents. I have worked for a while now. I'm just coming back after 10 years, coming back to school. I want a place, I want to have to create a safe space for not only clients, but employees. I want to be able to be one of the first places to actually give paid sick time. I want to be able to have the opportunity for my employees not to have to call to find replacements. I want to be able to create replacements for them when they need that time off. For 3, state your goals for what you will achieve in your 5th year after graduation. What will you be doing in 5 years? Where will you be working? What will your personal and financial success look like? In the next 5 years, Anthony, can you mute yourself, please?
Yeah, I'll do it. I'll do it. I got it. Go ahead. Patrice, you with us?
You muted me as well. Sorry.
Oh, sorry.
In the next 5 years, I see myself running a wellness center that focuses on female and family health with some of my family members. Eventually traveling to find innovative ways to improve the massage industry. I have family that's chefs. I have family that's social workers. I have shamans in my family, if you guys believe in those things. I also have family therapists as well. And I want to create a place where we can come together and make sure that, like I said before, the mind, the body, everything is working well. I can't do my job if their mind isn't right. And you can't do your job if someone's in pain or they're grieving or something like that. I'm a mom of 2, and I've worked in places where there are times I had to bring my kids to work with me, or I had to leave them alone, and they were underage during these times. Thank God I didn't get caught. But it was always hard to be a working mom. And I want to create a place where not only working moms could feel okay, but also the clientele could feel okay.
That's great.
I think,
So what would it be
yeah, I
like,
think
a
that's it.
standalone facility kind of?
Yeah, a wellness center that's actually focused on wellness, not just one that says it's a wellness center and it's only, let's say, estheticians and massage therapists or something. I want something that is the whole body. There's places like Massage Envy that is a nice place to go to. There are spas open that focuses on the luxury side of things. And I want it to be more like a birthing center, I can say, because I also want to have doulas on board. But it's rough right now what I'm thinking, but I have a kind of a place where I want to go.
Okay, okay. Well, I'm sure you'll figure it out. It sounds like you have a pretty detailed plan there.
Yeah.
Very good, very good. Okay, that's like excellent one too. Very good. Okay, who else wants to go? Do I have any other volunteers? I see.
I'll go. I didn't submit it on Blackboard.
Okay, go right ahead.
So the mission that really drives my career goals is I just like love being independent and like having my own success and like having skills that I've learned myself or I've learned from my mentors. The only thing I could think of to contribute to society is like more room for women in my industry. I do Amazon and Walmart. I'm like an e-commerce manager. I manage all the listings. I do all things like that. My goal in the next 5 years would be to grow more in the company I work in and train people to do what I do and take on more of a manager role.
So what do you do exactly? I didn't quite follow that.
I do e-commerce, Amazon and Walmart.
Oh, you're like a consultant to them?
Yeah, kind of. I do like a lot of listings, graphic design, SEO copywriting, that type of stuff.
You work for them or you work for a separate company?
I work for like a company that sells kids accessories.
Oh, I see. But you do it on, oh, I see. So you do it through their websites.
Yeah.
I got it. Okay. So you want to keep doing like web design work?
Yeah, I think so for now.
Yeah, I'm sure that's gonna be, it's a developing area that's not going away anytime soon.
For sure. It's only growing more and more.
Yeah, that's very good. Excellent.
Thank you.
Good plan. Okay, who else wants to go? I know there are more than just a few people here, so there are a lot of lurkers. Let's see, somebody wrote something. I have attached the meeting for September 10th, but I don't have the participation grade for it. I've attended, okay. All right, Deepu, I will give you credit too. Okay, who else wants to go? Nobody? How about Crystal Clark? Glory Christian? Elizabeth Desai? King Yan Ding? Vladimir Duval Saint? No, no one wants to go. Been told.
Vladimir,
Vladimir, yes, you want to go?
I'll take a go. So hold up, give me a minute here. Let me pull up the questions. One minute.
Just say a few words. Yeah, it doesn't have to be a big deal.
All right, I'm ready. Okay, so for me, my career goals is that I would like to become I would like to become an orthopedic surgeon one day. I think reason why I want to go into such a field is because I would like to really, affect change on people, utilizing the skills um and just the knowledge, that I've gained throughout, my education and training. Um, also, I also want to be a mentor slash what do you call that? Uh yeah, a mentor for those that are coming behind me. To the those coming up behind me, particularly the minority neighborhoods. So, the Black and the Latin communities. I want them to see that, hey, doesn't matter, where you come from. You can achieve whatever it is that you set your mind to as well. Another wait, let me see. Hold up. So for me, my ethics will be to mostly focus more on the clinical aspects of it, and so that will be for me to provide the best care to my patients. That will be really being the best surgeon that I can be, and also educating my patients on whatever it is that they whatever it is that they want to be educated on. So for me, that would be more orthopedic based education. What else? So what do I see myself in 5 years? I'll probably still be in school. I'm not gonna lie. And so yeah, I'll probably be in school in 5 years. That's probably
Cool. So you're like doing a joint major like pre-med and business or something, or?
yes, that's what I'm doing.
Okay. Interesting. Wow, that's impressive. Very good. Good luck. I'm sure you'll do great. Very impressive. Okay, let's see. Let's see where I was. Okay, we did Vladimir, Benvante Fogler. Benvante Fogler,
Hey,
ready to rock and roll?
I submitted the discussion board.
Okay, so you want to tell us about it or not?
Can I pass?
Yes. If you really don't want to, you're shy also, you guys have stage fright here?
Yeah, I'm not good at. I took one public speaking class, and that class is on Zoom, so that didn't even help.
Well, that's why, I mean, if, that's why you should do it, to overcome your fear of, whatever. You don't want to?
No, I'm okay.
You're okay. All right, next case. Jordan. Jordan Glenn Williams.
Professor, I can present.
Okay, who's talking?
Jonathan Shoreworthy.
Let me check this. With a
SUH is the last.
SUH.
Yep. So it should be at the
That's
end.
it. I gotcha. Okay, sorry about that. Yeah, gotcha. Go right ahead.
Yeah. So like many the mission that drives my career, well, eventually I want to become an optometrist. So I'm in my last year of undergrad and I'll be going into optometry school hopefully
Good.
next year.
Wow.
And mission that drives my career goal is, like many, is financial freedom, because I'm like a first generation college kid and I want to provide my family with that. But it's also centered around patient care. In the beginning of the pandemic, I kind of like fell into the path of optometry because I was like right out of high school and I started a receptionist job at an optometry clinic, and I've like learned from the doctors there like how much financial freedom you can truly gain from not only becoming a doctor, but you can also open up your own practice and run your own business where you provide the patient with the care of giving them eye exams and medical help, as well as providing them with the glasses or contacts that they'll need. The ethics included in that will be centered around patient care and continuous learning. So I want to keep up with the advances that come, because so many things are different from what we had 5 years ago, and we have so much more that are improving. In 5 years, I'll be 1 year out of optometry school. So I hope to like join a a non-for-profit organization. I want to work like just to like build up rapport with patients, like so when I do open up my own business, I'll have that row of people that want to follow with me.
What kind of nonprofit do you have in mind?
So there are a lot of places like upstate or in Pennsylvania that might the doctor I work with right now, the people over there are low income. They don't really get a lot of access to medical help, so they never really get their eyes checked. And those are the people who really need the help. They're the ones that you see with the most trickiest cases. But when they don't have access to that, they never get any care. So I'll start off with that and then eventually work my way to even if it's not in New York, but I want to open up my own practice.
Good,
There's a lot of income that can be seen with that. I've seen it firsthand from the doctors. So
sure,
yeah.
great. Well, I'm looking for a pair of glasses, maybe I'll give you a call.
Yeah.
Very good, very
Thank
good. Okay, so this is all excellent. Anyone else want to go? I'll just keep calling people otherwise. Any other brave souls here? I didn't know everyone had such a fear of public speaking. I shouldn't let you do it on Blackboard. Everyone seems to be terrified of talking on Zoom. Why is that? What are people afraid of? Anyone want to talk about that? Like why?
Yes.
Yeah, go ahead.
Hi, Professor. My college major is finance. No, the first question is state the mission, what drives your career goals. And since my college major is finance, so the industry I hope to work in the future is financial industry. I hope to become with financial analysis. So my career goal is to provide my client with professional financial analysis to maximize their profits. I hope to bring more economic benefits to my clients through my career. And financial ethics refers to the values and principles that influence financial behavior and decision making. It is an important part of the financial sector because finance is very important to the world economy. Financial ethical issues are ethical considerations in finance and accounting. There can be many ethical issues in finance, such as conflict of interest, inaccurate reporting, fraud and tax evasion, and a lack of transparency in accounting and financial decisions. Finally, in 5 years, I believe I will become a professional financial analyst. Accumulate more experience through continuous working and learning. I will do better on Wall Street, I believe, and achieve financial freedom.
Excellent. So what are you gonna what's the stepping stone there? Are you gonna do an internship or what what kind of steps are you gonna take to get to getting into
Yes.
Wall Street?
Yes, I will. I'm looking for the internship. For my second internship, right now.
Good. Okay, I talked to the Career Center also. They may have some contacts. And do you know how to do informational interviewing? I showed in the course document, you can start contacting people, maybe join some financial associations of various kinds and attend meetings, talk to people, make sure you network a little and get to know people. And I think that'll help too.
Yes, and I will connect with my mentors from my internship. I do meet some mentors who were already work in the financial industry and connect with them.
So you already know people in the field.
Yes.
I see. Okay, good. Excellent. That's great.
Oh, thank you.
Good, very good. Okay. Where were we? Anyone else want to go? I kind of lost track of the order. Prince Andy went. Tania, are you here? Elin didn't want to do it. Karen Lou, Iman Malik, Josh isn't here.
Can I go?
No, very good.
Yeah, I haven't posted it yet, but I'm still answering. So the first question is, state your mission that drives your career goals. What will you achieve, and what do you wish to contribute to society? So the mission that drives my career goals would be to be in a position that makes an effect on how a company's customer service is perceived. So my achievement will be the ability to step into stores where customer service is an issue, and to create a turnaround where the customer service not only becomes a duty that they feel that they need to perform, but also becomes a part of them as a person. As someone who has worked in retail and understands both the perspective of a customer and associate, I would like to create a balance, because I feel like that's a thing in stores where either the customer has too much power or the associate has too much power, where there's no balance, where okay, the customer is right but not always right, and as an associate you're in the you have your right but you can lose it, and you need to understand that and have support from managers. So that is something that I would love to do. uh State ethics with me is you always have to be good no matter what, especially in companies. As an employee, you have to look at I'm a Jamaican, so they said you have your right and you can lose it. So if you are the associate and the customer is cursing, and you start cursing them back, you lose your right as the associate. So you have to be always on a positive. I feel like if you have a positive mindset with everything, no one, no matter what they say, can turn you around. And to have positive um lines with as management, for if associate feel like it's too much for them, they can walk away and they not be penalized because they did the right thing. So currently I am on track with that, because I always want to do management or something like that where I'm training people. So I currently have a job where I am a job coach, where I go to different persons' workplace all over New York and I help them. I speak with their managers and teach them ways of how they can help implement better ways to train this person if they need help. They may speak with me about issues that the person has doing their job, and I'll try to get the person back on track. And if they feel like the person isn't great at the time, I'll tell them, because some of these persons, most of these persons, they have intellectual disabilities. Because I work for a non-for-profit, so if they feel like they're not doing the great best job they can, and I'm trying and they're trying, I tell them that just like how you iron them fairly, you have to fire them fairly. I'm not gonna ask you to hold on the person because they have disabilities. So that is because customer service is the best thing. And these persons sometimes they don't want to speak with persons. So that's my job right now. So my goals at what I wish to achieve in my 5th year after graduation. So I'd love to probably move on to something, either move up in my job because I don't know if I would love to stay in New York. It's I work for YI, so it's the largest in New York.
What's it called?
YI, Youth Adult Institute.
What do they do exactly?
It's a non-for-profit. They work with mostly intellectual disability persons. So you have different areas. So I work in employment training, where we help people not only get jobs, but also maintain the jobs and maintain the benefits.
Mhm.
So I would go to their job and help when I watch them how they do the job. S- Um, and if they need help, I'll tell them where they need help. If the management doesn't know how to communicate with them, I step in that area. If they're doing something wrong, I'll speak with HR or anything like that. So that is what I do. So and customer services, a lot of persons with IDD, they don't like to speak, which is a big thing with me because I before I had this job, I worked at Marshalls for 4 years, and I was doing a bit of coordinator job there. So I know what it takes for customer service, and I know the type of skills that it needs and how you need to represent yourself. How if somebody is within 10 feet within you, you need to smile. It just brings a big energy toward the store. So that's a big thing for me. Even if you have a disability, you have to go on like everyone else. You have to smile. You have to speak to people. People should be able to ask you, hey, what aisle is this in? And they should be able to answer. So that's just something I love to do. I love to make changes in store. I like to see customer service being up because it's really most important thing. That's how a store gets their reviews. That's how the company can say, hey, we see the store 1803 doing well. So that's a big thing for me because I always had in my mind that I was going to be in retail doing that. So but being able to go in different stores instead of being in one store has really taught me a good thing, and being able to go in different areas. So I also do I work with male people, porters. I work with maintenance persons. I've worked with persons OPWDD, work in office. I've worked with person that work for delivery companies. So I get to be in different areas where different things is needed, different tasks are done. So I hope to probably improve in my career field in the next 5 years, or to go to bigger heights, if because I don't know what that is actually for me right now, for in the next 5 years. But right now, what I know is that I am the company that is at the top. So I don't know, 5 years they can be somebody else. So I don't know. So I'll probably be working at the same company I am if I'm not outside of New York. Because if you want to buy a house, you're not really living in New York. So my personal and financial success look like is just making. I'm not really a money person per se, unless I can buy a house on that income, which I don't see myself not being able to do at my job. So financial income is to just make something that I can survive on and that my job is fulfilling, because I don't like to be lazy or sit down in something I don't like.
Good.
And
So basically you're training, you're like a trainer.
yes, employment training specialist, that's my title.
Cool. Are you part of HR? Is that,
No, so HR probably would be different. So all I do is say I have persons at Marshall, Shake Shack. I have different people, they have different workplace. I just go to the job. I like half an hour to like any amount of time it takes. Because if you're a delivery person, it takes probably 2 hours to do 2 delivery. So like I'll watch them. If it's a delivery person, I go to different locations over the barrels with them, and I just watch them how they do their job. So are they being spatial awareness of other people when they're doing their job? When they enter a place, are they saying good morning? Are they just going to take up packages without announcing themselves? Are they dealing with the packages fine? So it's medication. Do you just throw it down in the bag, or do you make sure that it's actually placed in properly? When you are going to do a pickup, are you stating that, making sure the address is correct? So you're repeating the address that you actually have on file. So it's just to make sure that they're doing everything correctly, because these persons have intellectual disabilities, and the thing with intellectual disabilities person is that management don't really have all the resources to deal with these persons or to communicate properly with them, or if they know that, okay, this person doesn't really like when I'm speaking with them outside with other persons. I do this with other persons. I'm like, okay, but that's not the rule of corporate. So you do it by the rule, by corporate rule with this person, because this person doesn't like it. Other persons might overlook it, but this person takes it personally. So that's just how I go in. I just make sure that they're doing their job well and support them in other areas where they are. So they have different supports. They might have a coordinator, which helps them with their medication, make sure that they get an appointment. I contact with them. So in case they say, okay, I can't go to work this week because I'm having a financial issue with my mom and this, I call the coordinator, make sure everything is affected so that anything around their life is not affecting them so that they can't go to work.
Very good. Wow. Very interesting. So it sort of combines, you're doing like social service work, but also HR work at the same time.
Kind of. You come a therapist sometimes.
I didn't know they hired so many disabled people in such diverse jobs. That's interesting.
Yeah.
Very good. Excellent. That's an important area. Okay, who else wants to go? Chanel did a great job. We had a lot of good ones tonight. Anyone else? Still 20 people with us. How about Ghazi Uden? Guoming Quan.
Hi,
Joyce.
Professor.
Yes, Guoming. Go ahead.
Oh no, I just performed before. Do you remember?
Oh, I'm sorry. Yeah, I was looking.
Okay.
Okay, yes, I do remember. Yes, I have a grade for you. I apologize.
It's okay. Thank you.
Let's see. So everyone, Yoland, you want to go? You didn't go. Yoland.
Professor, I submitted.
Oh, your mic doesn't work.
May I please pass?
Yes. Okay.
Thank you. I submitted on Blackboard.
Why are you shy? Also, what is it? No one wants to talk.
Kinda, sorta.
Come on. All right. How about Joyce?
Hi, Professor. I posted it on Blackboard.
I see you don't want to either.
No, I'm too shy. Thank you, though.
Okay. I think, those 2 years you guys took out from COVID or something. All right. Does
Yeah.
anyone want to go now? Is this it or?
Y'all need to join Toastmasters at Brooklyn College.
So, my wife and I are going to do that tomorrow, I think. She wants to practice it. It's a very important skill, being able to talk, in public. You really need it for business. I shouldn't be so lenient, but I don't want to. I know a lot of people have trouble with it.
My uncle's
Yeah,
a
but that's a
Toastmaster
good
in
thing.
Malaysia.
What's that?
Oh, I said my uncle, he's a Toastmaster in Malaysia.
Oh, really?
He told me I should join also.
Totally. Yeah. It's hard to get in. We tried to get into, there's one in the West 40s and they're booked. They're always booked. You have to do it online. You can't even get in there. But there's a bunch of them in the city.
It's easy to get it in Brooklyn College. They have the club there.
Oh, they have
And
one? Oh,
yes, we have there's one at Brooklyn College. I was in it last year. I'm not able to do it this year. I actually was going for president, but because I'm working full time, I wasn't able to do it this year. But it's kept on campus. If I remember correctly, it's done every
This is the Koppelman School one, right? There's one for the business school. That's the one you're talking about?
It's anyone can join. Anyone can join with whatever you're doing it in. There's somebody, we have an alumni at the from Brooklyn College that pays for it. So you don't have to pay for it. You just sign the paper up and they'll pay for it every year while you're at Brooklyn College. And it's really good. It's every 2 weeks, so it's not too much effort. But it's really good.
How many people attended? Did you go to a couple?
Yes, I went for a full year, and we
How many
have
people
like
did
at
you-
least 12 person, at least. That's the least.
At
We
least
have
12.
at
Oh,
least
that's
12.
good. That's not bad. Oh, that's good. Well, yeah, everyone should do it. It's if you're shy about speaking, so a lot of you are ESL students, which is, it's understandable you'd be lacking in confidence. I would be, if I were an ESL person, but I think you just got to practice the kind of thing you just got to do. You got to jump in the lake, and you get used to it after a while. So, all right. So, is anyone else willing to go, or did I use up all the willing bodies at this point, willing and able? No one else. Anyone? Any other volunteers? All right. Well, I'll see them on the Blackboard. So anyway, this is the assignment for the 24th, and then, as I said, next time we'll do emotions, and you've got the required discussion board next time on the Smile Factory, and that's a very interesting case that I'm sure you'll find it useful. So people are asking if you did it on Zoom, do you have to do it here? The answer is no. I think I'm not going to do that again because, well, actually, I haven't told you guys yet, but I'm going to be retiring this semester, so I'm no longer going to be teaching. So I guess I won't be doing it again. But if I were, I wouldn't do it this way and make everyone talk, because really you should get more confidence in talking to a group. Very important skill, as is writing. I mean, I think writing on Blackboard is also good exercise because you're practicing your writing a little bit. But you should not be. I'm a little surprised that usually I get, it's usually like 45, 15 in the Zoom, and this time I had like almost all were in Blackboard, and almost, only a few did it on Zoom. And I think the reason is fear of public speaking, which is well known. Some people say it's the worst fear that people have, the fear of public speaking. It's worse than like fear of dying in a war or something. But the thing is, you just have to practice it, and then you overcome the fear, and that's something you really have to do. And if you don't do it, then you just give up, and that's not good. So, all right. So anyway, some of you got the practice. Enough of you did that. We're not quite out of time, but enough of you did. All right. So we have a little bit of time. Let's talk for 10 minutes, and I'll let you go. What's happening in the news these days? Anyone following, read the Wall Street Journal or anything like that, and see what's in the headlines, what's exciting things in business that are happening?
Quick question, Professor.
Go ahead.
On Monday, it's Indigenous Peoples Day, so there's no classes. Will we still meet that Sunday?
I don't follow.
On the 9th, there is no college classes because of Indigenous Peoples Day.
On the 9th?
Yeah,
but we don't meet on the 9th.
Are we still going to meet on that Sunday, the 8th?
Yeah, we'll still meet. Yeah.
Okay.
Okay, God, we've already had, you haven't had enough holidays. We just had 2 holidays. The whole semester is gonna be a holiday, yeah. So basically, yeah, we're gonna meet, let's try to get some work done and, try to move forward on the material. So, yeah, we'll meet next time. And, all right, so I started saying,
Excuse me, Professor, before you go on to the news,
go ahead.
I just want to say congratulations.
Oh, thank you.
I personally am gonna miss you.
That's
We'll be
sweet.
losing somebody really, really good.
Well,
But I wish you all the best, and I hope you get to travel and do all the things you were.
yeah, well, that's part of it. Yeah, we're thinking of, I remarried. My wife, Frida, died in 2020.
Yeah, remember you told us. Congratulations on your new one.
Remarried.
I see the new decor in the back there too.
Yeah, so yeah, I've been thinking of traveling for a long time. My wife wants to travel a lot too. She's actually from she's originally from Mongolia,
Mhm.
and she's been all over the world, and now she's here in the US, and but we're thinking of going to Asia, the Caribbean, you name it. And so hopefully we'll be doing a lot of traveling and learning about the world, and she's got a business I'm gonna work on with her. And
Mhm.
so I'll be pretty busy doing new things, and that's what matters, I think. I'll miss you guys, I'll miss teaching, but I've done it for 30. I've taught here for 25 years, and I taught for 7 years before, and also other places. So 32 years, I think, is a good amount. Got a lot of teaching done. I also taught as an adjunct for 8 years at Troy State University, and for 13 years at New York University. So I've taught like a lot. I've done a lot of teaching. I guess I've got enough to retire on, so why not do something new? So I'm gonna move forward, and I'll miss you guys, of course, but I'm looking forward to new experiences and learning new things and so on. Thank you. So that's
Yeah, you better go on now and do what you have to do. Yes.
yeah, I'll be 70 in May, and
What date in May?
what's that?
What date in May?
I'll be 70 years old.
No, what date?
Oh, what date? May 29th.
Oh, okay. I am the 17th.
Oh, is that so? Yeah. You're Taurus.
Yeah. Mhm.
I'm a Gemini.
Oh,
So
yeah.
yeah. So basically, yeah, I'm still young enough, I'm still healthy enough to do a lot of traveling. And,
Definitely.
the next 5 or 10 years, I'd like to do that and see a lot of the world and do stuff and live in some other places maybe. And then I don't know, then I'll, as you get older, it becomes more difficult to move around. Maybe I'll settle down somewhere.
Yeah, that's true. That's why I say do it now while you're able.
Yeah,
Yes.
that's right.
And just have fun. What can I
Yeah.
say?
Exactly.
I envy you, but you go ahead and do your thing.
Yeah, thanks. Well, you don't want to be 70 though. That's the thing.
Hey, listen, I'm a year ahead of you, so I
Okay,
know where I'm coming from, where I'm talking to you from.
okay.
Yeah.
Are you serious? You're not serious, are you?
Yes, I am.
Really?
Yes, I am.
Oh, so what are you doing in school? What's
I am doing what I didn't get to do when I was younger because I was busy getting my family together.
oh, interesting. Very
Yeah.
well, my father did that. He hadn't gone to college, and then he went back when he was old. I don't think he finished, but please finish, that'll be good. And
Yeah,
get the degree.
it's getting a little frustrating for me. I am almost there. I'm practically tasting it. So I'm trying to push myself to get it done.
Get it done. Yeah, you'll feel
Yes.
good about yourself. That's great.
Mm-hmm.
Excellent.
And I'm still working, so
Are you still working and going to school?
yeah, I'm working full time.
Wow, good for you. You're ambitious.
That's why it's taking me so long because
I don't think I could do that at this point in my life. Years ago I did stuff like that, but now no.
mm-hmm.
So
Yeah.
what's going on? Let's finish up for a few minutes. What's going on in business today?
Okay, somebody
Anyone? what exciting things are happening or unexciting things that are happening, not exciting, that are happening? Anyone? What's going on with the economy?
The government shutdown that was, I guess, somewhat
heard-
resolved. I
Okay,
don't know
so-
what they called it, but yeah, the government shutdown was the most recent thing that I was aware of.
Yeah, that's a big story. So, I heard it was, someone told me in the other class it was a 45-day delay. Is that what, I haven't seen the news yet. So, it sounds like the markets will probably be stable because the stock market doesn't like it when there's uncertainty. And this was one time that, it's not the kind of thing they would like. I'm looking at the international markets. They're pretty green right now. The Hang Seng is up 2.5%. I don't know if it's related to the US news or it's something else. But the stock market in general has been flat, and the bond market has been going down, which suggests the stock market will go down. Why is that? Who knows the reason for that? Why have and the real estate's been going down, especially in New York and some other big cities. Why? Who knows the reason? Anyone? What has been happening to interest rates now? Anyone know?
Oh, they've been going
Oh,
up.
they keep going higher.
They keep going higher, and why is that?
Well, they say it's because of inflation, but that can also be because our budget is through the roof. We keep on spending and spending and spending.
It's very true.
And also,
Go ahead. I'm sorry. Keep going.
and at the same time, I know that we're borrowing a lot also to cover some of these deficits. However, it's not only did the pandemic screw us over, but it also it just a lot of things happened coupled with the pandemic. It's been going, the interest rates have been going up since for the past how many years now? It wasn't so bad before COVID, but it was getting higher during that time. It was getting higher.
Yeah.
Interest rates are about an 8 or more now. I could be wrong.
They're a little below that. They're not quite 8 yet, but they're your mortgages, it depends which rate, but
Right.
if you're collecting interest on a money market fund, it's up to 5, 5.3 in some funds. If you're collecting, if you're paying to buy a house or something, it's up to about 7 or maybe 8. It's in some cases. So yeah,
with the mortgage, it's up to that because like cities like New York, our rent, mortgages, everything is getting higher. To buy a home is around 800.
Yeah.
And you have to have over probably what 300,000 as a down payment now. It's getting ridiculous. It's getting ridiculous. I remember I was looking to buy a house before COVID hit, and after COVID, I couldn't afford anything.
What's happened in New York is that prices have actually fallen in the last year, but interest rates are higher, so the payments are more. So in other words, even though prices have fallen in response to the rising interest rates, but if you want to borrow because the interest rates have tripled, your payments are going to be higher than they would have been.
The crazy part is if you saying, I mean, not you saying, the facts are the prices have fallen, but these prices are ridiculous. This is talking about like 1.2 million for a 2-bedroom condo. Like, what are we talking about?
Yeah, it's still going to be a 2-bedroom. Yeah, I've been looking at 1-bedrooms, and you can get in fairly expensive areas. You can get for like 800 now. So it's gone down. I mean, a few years ago it would have been 1.5 or something, 1.3 or something like that, at least. I'm talking about very good neighborhoods, but now 800. So it's gone down. but it's still a lot of money, by anyway. So anyway, I put on the screen share. This is the total public debt as a percent of the gross domestic product. So it's basically adjusted for how big the economy is. So you don't need an inflation adjustment because the years are comparable to each other. So the fact that it's lower here isn't because of inflation, it's because they're just borrowing more as a percentage of the economy. And it's back in the what I do there when I was in high school. When I was in high school, so we're talking 52 years ago, I was in high school. This was in 1970. It's doing all these weird things for some reason. I keep doing that. But anyway, it was down, it was all the way down, to 40%. The total federal debt as a percentage of gross domestic product is 40%. Well, you go through the 80s, Reagan boosted it up. It wasn't that much of an increase during the Clinton years. It kind of goes down a little. And then Bush raised it a little, then Obama was big, and that was the time of the financial collapse, and there was huge amount of spending stimulus and all this huge increases. And then Trump, it's like a rocket in 2020. Well, was that Trump or was that Biden? I'm not sure, but it shot up in response to COVID. It was COVID basically. So
Yeah, so that was Trump with the stimulus and everything. Yeah.
Yeah, he spent a lot. They say Republicans are fiscally conservative, but it didn't work out that time. So so now it's going down, but it's still really high. I mean, federal debt is now, it was as high as, 130 is as high as Greece was when it collapsed. So we were up there. We were up at like Greek levels, during the financial collapse. It's gone down recently a little, I see, but not by a lot. So you're still talking, I'm having a little trouble seeing this. So it's like 115%. So it's still like really astronomical, and it's not going away. I think the people who are talking about the financial debt, I don't think that the federal debt, causes inflation, but the financing of the federal debt is what causes inflation. So in other words, if the Fed creates money to buy the federal debt, so in other words, that will cause inflation. So, and that's what will ultimately happen. I'm not saying the Fed one-to-one prints money just so the banks can buy the federal debt. It doesn't work that directly, but there is a close relationship, and the Fed is not unaware of what the government's doing. So if the government's borrowing a lot and consumers are borrowing, the reason is basically that the Fed is creating a lot of money. And that's, basically what happened during COVID. You can see that this is the Fred is the Federal Reserve Bank of St. Louis publishes all this data. So if you look here, let's look Fred M1 money supply prime series. So you look at this story here. The gains in money supply in 2009 were huge, but they don't look huge because they were so huge in COVID time. So this was 2020 exactly. So we're looking at Trump and then Biden, and these are massive increases. They created more money in the last 3 years than in the entire history of the United States. So think about that. In 240 years, or whatever it was, something like that, 246 years or something, 244 years, whatever it was. They created more money in those 2 years or 3 years than in the entire history of the United States. Now, a lot of this went into circulation, and that's why prices are increasing. So we can talk more about that, I will over, I have a few minutes here and there. But basically, this is why there's inflation. And when you see this downturn here, this is Jerome Powell fighting inflation by raising interest rates. Now, of course, one of the effects of raising interest rates is that it becomes more expensive to borrow. So like if you want to buy a house, you're going to have much, much higher interest payments than you would have. If you're going to buy a car, same story. So what that does is it slows down the economy, and people stop borrowing as much, and then they buy less, and then everything slows down, and then there's less demand, and then inflation slows down. Okay, so I think there are two reasons why this is important. Number one, if prices are escalating at an increasing pace, it creates social instability. Parents can't buy food for the children, okay, and people can't afford some of the basics, so basically inflation, back in the 70s, you had retirees eating cat food because the inflation rate was too high. And, when it gets to be really high, if nothing is done about it, you have situations like the Weimar Republic, and in recent years, Rwanda, Argentina has these problems that, the money is almost worthless, and people, the economy slows down, if only because people are finding alternatives, like they figure out ways to get around using the money. So there's all kinds of complicated arrangements being made. And this is, that becomes the end of the economy, basically. Everything all the good things about the American economy die. So you need stable money for a good economy. And Powell isn't wrong to do this. I think the whole period from 70, what I just changed to, so, I just, I don't know what happened there, but, it just happened to land on June 1981. And you see, it was already, it's been like this for a long time. I'm not saying they haven't been printing money like crazy forever. So it goes back to 71. I mean, they were doing it already in the 60s. That's why we got off the gold standard in 71. And then they went crazy. But from our standpoint, this looks small, but it was huge at that time. And, it got even bigger, and now it's, Earth's moving. So, they're printing all this money, financing the debt, the federal debt, and also subsidizing Wall Street with it. I can explain that in another class. And so, to bring the dollar back, they have to slow the economy, and it's going to be painful. Now, of course, inflation has gone down. The core inflation, which excludes gasoline and food. So most of the things that people spend money on are excluded, but core inflation got lower this past month. So it's actually within a reasonable range. Now, the other thing though, is that the oil prices are shooting up, and if oil prices shoot up, then a lot of other prices will shoot up. So that's called like cost push inflation. And the Fed may not be able to do much about that. However, they may not be able to do much about it, but the public may be very unhappy if they see gasoline going, right now it's $7 in California, $6 in California. And if that happens in New York and the East Coast and stuff, I think a lot of people are not going to be happy. And, again, it gets to instability and stuff like that. So I'm not a critic of Powell at all. I'm not saying he's someone I admire, like I would view him as a hero of mine or something, but nothing like that. But I think he's basically doing what needs to be done given the system we have to try to stabilize stuff. And hopefully the other thing is like the oil prices are going up because, there's political stuff that causes it. And I don't know if that's gonna go away or not. So, but we'll see. But there's undoubtedly gonna be, I would be surprised if there's not a recession. I won't say undoubtedly, but I'll be surprised if there's not a recession. I'm not gonna say undoubtedly, but it seems likely that a recession is gonna happen. Cause like if even if the Fed doesn't raise rates further, you've basically got shooting up gasoline prices, and food is going to go up as a result because food prices are influenced by oil prices. So people are going to be facing inflation. They're going to be facing higher interest costs. So I don't think we're going to get away with a so-called soft landing, avoiding a recession. Anyway, that's my thought. So anyway, have a nice week, and we're out of time. Have a nice week, and work on your the discussion board due for next time on the required board is on the Van Manen, the Smile Factory, and I'll look at everyone's posts for this week on it was optional. If you did it in class, you don't have to do it, but it looked like a lot of people did it on the discussion board. Okay, have a nice week, and see you
So
next week.
question, if we did it in class, do we have to post it online?
No.
Okay.
Okay. Anyone else?
Thank you, Professor. Have a good night.
Thank you,
too.
Professor.
Good
Good night.
Professor.
Thank you,
Professor. Have a good night.
Bye, Margarita. Take care.
Thank you,
How was
Professor.
the
Have a good
Grand?
night.
How was the Grand Canyon, Professor? Didn't you go to the Grand Canyon with
No,
your
I
wife?
went to Niagara. I went to the Grand
Niagara
Canyon
Falls.
last year. I did go to
Niagara Falls.
I went to Las
Okay.
Vegas. In fact, I got married in Las Vegas, and we flew over the Grand Canyon. We took a helicopter ride over the Grand
That's nice.
Canyon. It was amazing.
But
Yeah.
but
we did
Niagara Falls was nice.
Oh yeah, have you been there? It's really fantastic. It's a
I
nice.
have not. I want to go.
Yeah, it's a nice
Okay,
drive.
good.
From the city, about 6-hour drive. Yeah, it's long, but
Okay.
it's nice. It's amazing. Niagara Falls. You go on this boat and you go like right next to it, and it's really, it's great.
How's the price for that? How much did it cost to go on a boat?
Are you talking about Maid of the Mist?
Yeah, Maid of the Mist. Yeah.
Yeah, that's nice.
Yeah, I can't remember. It's like $25 or $30.
Oh, that's not bad.
No, it's
Okay.
not a big deal. There's a
thank you.
hotel, and if you stay on the American side, there's a hotel and casino there. We stayed. That wasn't that expensive. There's a lot more on the Canadian side. My wife. Well, anyway, I won't go into that. But we
That's
stayed on the American side. So
okay, cool.
yeah. So
Nice.
it's fun.
I'm glad you enjoyed yourself. You have a good weekend. Week. Sorry.
You too.
Okay, bye-bye.
Take care.
Professor, did you take attendance?
I did not. No, I'm just going to base it on the discussion board consideration participation. Okay. So
Okay.
You don't have
Yes.
to worry.
Thank you so much. Have a nice day. Thank you so
too.
much.
Take care.
Bye bye. You too. Bye bye.
Professor, I have a question.
Okay, go ahead.
Came back to ask you, like, did you call my name? I put the message on the chat, but like I didn't get, like, you didn't respond, so I thought, like,
This is who is this now? Ghazi Uden. People were doing the presentations, but if you did one on
yeah, I was there. I messaged on the chat, but I didn't get any reply, so that's why I left. Like, if you can see, I like direct message to you.
right. So did you do the presentation on the
Yeah, I did on the discussion board.
Okay, then you'll get credit.
Oh, okay. Thank you so much.
You're welcome.
All right. Have a good one.
You too. Bye now. Anyone else have a question? Okay, bye now.